Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about the elephant money recovery. We're going to look at information that has been passed down from the developers, and we're also going to look at some information that I have gathered from the community and do a simple analysis to see if we can get an idea of what kind of outlook there is for the recovery. I've got a great video for you guys, so stay tuned. This is Into Crypto, a channel I started to share my journey into decentralized finance. Here you will get to see weekly videos of an average Joe investor, myself, start with a minimal amount of capital and attempt to make it big in the crypto space. I will show you everything that happens in my portfolio with full transparency, no matter how bad it may get. I should mention I am not a financial advisor and all my content is intended for entertainment and education only. You should always do your own research before making any investments. If you would like to join the Into Crypto community or you just want to learn more about the crypto space, please check out the links below. And while you're down there, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Without further ado, let's get into crypto. If you would like to understand what exactly happened in detail, I have already done a video going over that, and you can find that linked in the description or in the top right corner. In that video, I go over what occurred and what the damages are suffered by the platform, but in this video, I want to talk about the outlook for the recovery. The first thing I want to do is look at this poll again. Now, I know I showed this poll in my last video, but I feel like I didn't give it as much attention as I should have. Plus, it has more than 100 extra votes this time, so the sample size has grown a bit, so I think it's important that we touch on it and we look and see what the community is thinking. I do also think that it is important to note that I sent this out to a bunch of groups on Telegram, and that did include a group that was very drip focused, so this does actually include people from multiple different Telegram communities. Now let's talk about the people that are in this first category. 14% of the people polled say that they are going to exit their position as soon as it makes sense. Now I think these people might be having somewhat of an inner struggle, as this incident has caused them to stop believing in the project, but at the same time they still have enough faith to think that it will at least be able to recover to a point where their losses will not be so severe and will exit at that time. To me, this is a very interesting situation. It seems like these people both believe and don't believe in the project at the same time. And I'm wondering what would happen to this group of people if the platform was actually able to make a strong comeback in the coming weeks. Is it possible that this group of people might change their mind about selling because they are already making a decision that's based on greed? And I'm not trying to be inflammatory by saying that, but think about this. If they really have lost faith in the project, but they aren't selling, they're clearly making a decision that is not based on their logic. They are making a decision that is based on a hope that goes against their belief. So I strongly believe that at least some of the people in this group will be swayed to stay in the project if they see it starting to become successful again. But even if this group of people actually did follow through with selling, I don't think it would have that much of an effect, and this is why. It all has to do with the net effect. So here's what I mean by net effect. If you look at the second group, 30% of the people polled are neutral. They are not buying or selling, so their impact on the net effect is zero. Now, that's not saying that they won't buy or sell, but they're just waiting to see what happens, and obviously will make a decision going one way or another at some point. But right now, if they don't buy or sell, they will have zero impact on the recovery going one way or the other. Looking at the third group of people, we see a full 49% of the community is planning on buying more elephant or trunk. So if we think about this in terms of net effect, we have to think about how much of that group it would take to offset the sells from the first group. If we assume that each person in the third group buys at a 1-to-1 ratio with what each person in the first group sells, that would mean that 14 of the 49% of buys will not have an impact on the recovery. But that would leave a full 35 of the 49% of the community that will be providing a positive net effect on the recovery of the platform. Now, can we assume that each person from each group is going to buy or sell the exact same amount of elephant or trunk? Probably not. But we can be a little more conservative and say that each person in the first group is going to sell twice as much as each person in the third group will buy. If that were to happen, that would mean that there is still a net positive effect on the platform's recovery. In fact, for there to be a negative net effect on the recovery of the platform, the people in the first group would have to sell over 3.5 times more elephant and trunk than the people in the third group would be buying. Now, it's probably not safe to assume that each person from each group will buy and sell the exact same amount of trunk and elephant, but I do think it's safe to assume that 14% of the community won't be able to sell off more trunk and elephant than 49% of the community can buy. I don't know about you, but I think that these numbers are extremely favorable to a strong recovery, provided Bank Teller can pull through with fixing the vulnerabilities of the platform. So, how much do we believe in BT? Well, I think that this poll is actually an indirect indicator of that. There is obviously a large portion of the community that believes strongly in something about this project. Is it the fact that we know the protocol works and can generate rewards without using a Ponzi economy? Or is it the fact that we believe in Bank Teller because we know he's an MIT graduate with 20 years of coding experience working for some of the biggest names in fintech? I don't know, but it has to be something. And if people didn't believe in his ability, I'm sure we would see drastically different results from this poll. But seeing things as they are, I think the people that are taking this opportunity to buy more trunk and elephant are going to be very happy with their decision. Remember, this is not financial advice, and I am not telling anybody to go buy more trunk and elephant. So now that we have taken a critical look at the community sentiment and see that there is a very positive outlook for the recovery, let's talk about what's going on with the recovery efforts. Before we get into it though, I would like to say if you enjoy my content, please consider liking and subscribing. If you think my content adds value to your investment journey and you would like to support me in a way other than just liking and subscribing, I would love to have you on my Elephant Money team. Just grab my buddy address from the description of this video, enter it into your partner tab, hit update, and confirm the transaction. Every month I do airdrop raffles where I give away a few days worth of my earnings, so if you join my team, please also join my Telegram group so you can be a part of that fun. The first thing I want to talk about is the staking. There have been a lot of questions about why people aren't earning the APR that is displayed on the dashboard. The short answer is that this value you see has actually been adjusted on the back end. This is because it was artificially inflated by the attack that drained the treasury. The way the APR is calculated, the more money that is in the rewards pool and the less money that is staked, the APR goes up. The exploit worked by taking advantage of the redeem function, a small fee from which goes into the rewards pool. So as the exploit looped, it actually fed more and more into the rewards pool. This is actually a good thing for the platform as it did save some of the capital from being taken, but it also artificially inflated the staking APR. The second thing that caused the APR to go up was the fact that so many people actually unstaked their trunk, removing it from the equation and making the APR go up. So BT has adjusted this on the back end, and I don't blame him. If people were to be able to take advantage of the inflated APR, it would only lengthen the recovery. If you want to take advantage of an opportunity presented by the exploit, the best thing to do is buy more trunk. You can bond it or hold it, but just don't sell it until the platform recovers. And if the platform recovers, you know you will make money because there is no guessing about what the price of trunk will be when the platform does recover. Of course, elephant is also cheaper than it's been in over a month, so I think scooping up some of that could be beneficial too, but again, this is not financial advice. Another thing I have received questions about is the collateralization ratio. The current collateralization ratio is obviously not real. This is because the values used to calculate it are the elephant treasury and the cash treasury balances. The money in these contracts has actually been moved to the elephant deployer where it can be safely used to assist the recovery of the platform until the new treasury contracts are built. As you can see here, the elephant deployer currently holds about 2.5 million BUSD. The elephant deployer has already been used to buy 391,000 trunk and will be forwarding funds to the elephant treasury as soon as the emergency patch is in place. To help make the platform more secure with the release of the next version of Stampede, there are going to be some changes made to the mechanics. One major change is that the Elephant Treasury will be used to pay out yield only, and redemptions of Trunk will be handled exclusively with PancakeSwap. This means that you will no longer get paid 75% BUSD and 25% Elephant. Your redemptions on PancakeSwap will be paid out in 100% BUSD from the PancakeSwap liquidity pool. This will close the loop that was used to exploit the redeem function and will insulate the treasury from future attacks. There will also be fresh whitelists created for the treasuries so that the old retired contracts cannot be used to manipulate funds and lead to further exploitation. BankTeller has also mentioned that going forward there will be a bug bounty offered to anyone that is able to find and exploit vulnerabilities in the platform, offering a full 10% of funds that were able to be extracted from the contracts as payment. This is something that is common in the tech industry, but it could very well be a first in DeFi and could end up pushing Elephant Money to be one of the most secure platforms in the industry. Another thing I would like to point out is that while the price drop of Elephant was around 85%, it only returned to a price that it was 5 weeks prior to the exploit. The big difference here is the amount of Elephant in the liquidity pool. If you don't know why that is a good thing, I urge you to watch some videos that I have linked in the description on liquidity pools and how automated market makers use the number of tokens in the pools to adjust the price as buys and sells happen. If you look at this graph of the amount of tokens in the BUSD liquidity pool, you can see that compared to the last time it was at this price, there are nearly twice as many Elephant tokens. This is good for a few reasons, but mainly because it provides stability in terms of volatility and helps the price of the token decouple from the price action of BNB. In summary, I think that there is an extremely positive outlook for the recovery of this platform, both in terms of community sentiment and developer efforts. I would like to mention that I am in the third group of people that will be buying as much Elephant and Trunk as I can. Now, I could be wrong, but I do think that I will look back at this at some point in the future and see it as the biggest opportunity of my investment career. If you would like to follow the updates on this recovery in real time as they happen, please check out the Medium article that is linked in the description of this video. That is being updated by BT himself and is the only place you should be getting information on the recovery. I will say that all of the information in this video, excluding the community poll, was gathered from that resource. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you watched this far, I would kindly ask that you provide a like and a subscribe and leave me a comment telling me your thoughts on the recovery of Elephant. Farewell till next time.